Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Wild&Wingless. Tonight I got with myself Melissa Crouch from South Australia. Melissa, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you, good. Well done on the weekend for hitting that podium. That was fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. We were pretty excited. It's been a while since we were on there, so to get up into third place was really good. Particularly because I had to come from the back. So we originally started there, but steward decision sent us to the rear.
Oh wow.
And we had to motor on through to third. So yeah, no, car was good, and I felt probably the most comfortable I have in the car for a long time.
Yep.
So yeah, it gave me a bit of confidence and moving forward into the title next weekend. So
Yeah, nice. Well, I think I've crossed paths with you guys at the South Australian title last year at Mildura. But for people who don't know who Melissa Crouch is, do you want to give us a bit of a background on how you got started in racing to where you got to today, racing wingless?
yeah, sure. It's pretty long, so I hope you've got a while.
Yeah, let's go.
So I've been sort of around Speedway ever since I was a kid. My dad and grandfather crewed for Graham Mason back in the Rod days, and then he moved into sprint cars. So always around at his house, dad working on the cars and stuff. But I didn't actually get into any racing myself until I was 11. So my mum and dad brought my brother a go-kart, and he had a go at that. And at that stage, it was your sister wants to do everything that your brother wants to do. So I wanted to give it a go. And instantly fell in love with it as soon as I got in it. So I've been racing ADCA dirt karts for many, many years. My mum, dad, brother, and I all raced. So we had 4 karts at the track. We're mainly based at Strathalbyn, so the Angus Go Kart Club there. I'm a third generation go karter, so my dad raced and my grandfather raced. So it's been in the family for a long time. And same with my husband Jamie. He raced, his dad raced, and his grandfather raced.
Hmm.
Um, we won a SA and Australian title in KT Ladies. So
Nice.
they don't have that class anymore, but back then they did, and that was good. Finished second in the SA title for 3 years in a row. So a bit bummed we didn't get that first spot. We were so close
Yep.
so many times, but we're only good enough for second, but still pretty proud with that. We did speedway karts for a little bit as well, and I won a state title in that.
Yep.
So then we went into Speedway. So my brother-in-law, Tim, he started off in V6 sprints and then moved into speed cars, so
Hmm.
the S7 speed car. And we used to go to the track and help him out a lot. We developed our own speed car engine, so it's a Nissan V6. So
Oh wow.
my father-in-law, Rob's a motor mechanic,
Yep.
so he's pretty mechanically minded. So was able to do that, and obviously at a lower cost to what your Mopar or something is.
Yep.
So we then moved into, so I did recruiting for the Lightning Kart sprint car team,
Oh yeah.
and Jamie. So when I mean crewing, like going and scraping mud for them, but we did that for a while.
Nice.
Um, and then tragically, my brother-in-law Tim was killed in a car accident nearly 15 years ago. So that that was pretty hard on the family, obviously. He was, pretty well known and respected in the speedway community. So I think it was a big shock, and it was felt by a lot of people there as well, that loss. So we had a lot of discussions as a family. What are we going to do? We're going to keep going. We're going to stop. We decided that we wanted to honor his memory and, keep his memory alive to run the speaker. So
Hmm.
I did 4 shows in it. So that was my first division that I ran. We did 4 shows in the speaker. It was pretty tough because he wasn't there. Really tough on Jamie, his mum and dad, his wife Shelley at the time. They'd just found out a few weeks earlier that they were expecting their first child.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it was a really, really difficult time for our family, and even thinking about it now, I get quite emotional about it.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, moving on. Jamie then stepped into the speaker, so it was sort of I ran it to see if I'd enjoy Speedway, sort of how I went, that sort of a thing. And then Jamie was always going to step into it. So we looked into, because Tim went down the V6 road, we were familiar with the cars, that sort of stuff. So we got one of those for myself. And once again, Jamie's dad put an engine together to put in it.
Yep.
So, So we were running, Jamie was running speed car. I was running the V6 Sprint, often on the same night. So we were pretty busy. Then I took a bit of time off we decided to start a family.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my first son, Chase. Didn't know at the time, but actually my last race meeting we did in the V6, I would have been pregnant with him.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
so he's been around the Speedway City racetrack.
Yep. Yeah, well, there you go. Yes.
Yeah. What else have we got? So of the V6 Sprint, so I've placed second and third in the state title, fourth in the Australian title.
Mm-hmm.
That was held at Murray Bridge. And then we finally got the win at Renmark and took out the state title there a few years later. So the division then decided to go away from a national division and go back to a V6 Sprint class based in SA. So we weren't really sure that's the direction we wanted to take. Like, we wanted to be able to go to Victoria, New South Wales, all over if we wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So we sort of looking into what other divisions to get into. Wingless sprints had always sort of been around, but I hadn't really taken much notice of them. Started looking into it more, affordability came into it, all that sort of stuff. So we decided to go down that road. And I'm into my fourth season now.
Yep.
Running wingless sprints. So we only do sort of 6 to 8 shows a year at this stage. So, that works out to 24 shows I've done probably, which for a lot of people, that's like one season for them. But, we do what we can do and just love it. It's really great. It keeps us together as a family. So the car's kept down at Jamie's mum and dad's house. So we've got our 20-minute drive to go work on it, wash it, prep it, all that sort of stuff. So it's a big commitment from everyone, to allow me to race and go out and have some fun. So yeah, really appreciate it. Everything that everyone does for me. I think we're starting to get somewhere now. We've sort of struggled a bit those first opening seasons. I think it was a bit set up not right for me. We've got some great advice from some of the top guys, setup wise, all that sort of stuff. And I think jumping in the speaker this season has helped reactions and all that sort of stuff, driving harder with the wingless sprints. I think it's improved my wingless sprint racing this season.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So that's sort of my background
Wow.
into racing. So I've been around for a while.
Yep.
And done a few different things. So
okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you. Well, first question I got to ask is what do you enjoy so much about racing wingless? What is it about wingless that? Because it doesn't sound like you're going anywhere. It sounds like you're building up to stay. And
yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, we've got the speed car out again this season, and I'm really, really loving that. But unfortunately, there's probably not enough shows here in SA for us to just focus on that. So I think, we're going to try and do both at this stage. So I think it's good, no matter what you're in, seat time is always a good thing.
Yep.
So we'll do the speed car shows that we can do and then fill in, with the wingless for the rest. So definitely don't plan on getting out or selling it anytime soon, that's for sure.
So what do you enjoy about the wingless? Yeah.
I think the class is so competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you look at Mildura next weekend, there's 108 cars nominated, 110 cars nominated, and, easily you could pick 30 people out of that group that could potentially win it.
Yep.
It comes down to who's moved forward the most positions, who's had that little bit of luck on their side, things have gone their way, who's the best driver on the night. So, like I said, there's easily probably 30 people that could fit that bill.
Mm-hmm.
I think the affordability of it. So once you've got that initial setup cost of buying your car. As long as you don't wreck or have any major damage, it is generally pretty affordable racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
No, that's
And
right.
there's so many race meetings on at different events around Australia. So probably if you wanted to spend the whole speedway season, you could go and race every weekend, just about, and you get good numbers. So there's easily, here in SA, 40 plus wingless to a normal show. So I think that's what I really enjoy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's a very good class with a lot of cars. And I remember when we had COVID and we were locked down. A buddy of mine, Mark Blighton, he went on his COVID tour, and I think he still racked up like 25 to maybe 28 races during COVID.
Yeah.
When everyone's in lockdown, he was just bypassing all the major cities and on his
Yeah.
COVID tour. So it just goes to show wingless racing across the country, yes. And it's opened my eyes in the last however many months I've been doing this. But before I started doing the show, I was sort of thinking about doing the show for quite a few years. I was sort of watching all the results, and I sort of started to notice then, like, we have a lot of racing. We have a lot. So, like, any given
Yes.
weekend, we could have over like 200 cars competing across a couple of states. It's incredible. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know any other sprint cars can't achieve that. So it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, you're right. So what's been your highlight this season? I think I know what it's going to be, but what is it?
Yeah, probably last weekend, I think, at the bridge. We had a heat race win, which was really good. And then, just the drive I put in on the Saturday, Jamie and my father-in-law, the whole crew were really proud.
Yep.
And we haven't been able to say that for a while because, we're sort of floating around that, just outside that top 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that's probably been our highlight for this year, definitely.
Yeah, right. No, I thought it was great to see Jenna and yourself get up there. You guys win some heats. I think she won 2 heats.
She wiped clean the night. So
Yeah.
she won in 2 heats in the final. So yeah, she was on fire.
That was incredible. And then you got up there as well. I thought, man, that was just happening. But I was actually amazed to South Australian Wingless for holding 2 race meetings over the same night. I think that was a very bold move, and it paid off. They knew what they were doing, and it got done. And I was very thankful, by the way. I have to do a shout out to DTP Quick Snaps for photos, because whoever was looking after Mildura didn't have the photos that you guys had at Murray Bridge. So thankfully, one of the track photographers at Mildura was able to give me some photos. But yeah, no, I thought it was a great night. Yeah. So how many podiums have you received in wingless now?
Just the 2.
Just the 2?
Back in my second season, I
Yep.
think Boxing Night sprint cars were on at Murray Bridge.
Oh, wow.
And I managed to snag 3rd place in that as well. So
That's a good achievement when you got the big boys in town. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right. Well, I did see that the S7 was nominated for the Australian title at Mildura, and as I said, I'm pretty sure I remember seeing the S7 last year at Mildura for the state title. So what's your thoughts heading there? Like, how many have you? You wouldn't have done as an Australian title, would you?
Yeah, I did the title at Murray Bridge.
The one that got rained out.
The final got washed out. So yeah, I was, pretty excited. We made the preliminary A main the first night.
Yep.
So that was a bit of a shock. We weren't expecting that.
Awesome. Yeah.
And we were so close to making it into the A. I think we were P17.
Yes.
So we started off pole in the B, and I was out front for a few laps, thinking I was cruising along. Yep, this is good. And then coming out of turn 4, there was a guy went around the top of me. Guy went underneath me.
Oh,
and
no.
Yeah, they just swamped me. So I think we finished 4th or 5th in the B main in the end.
Yes.
But we were really happy that weekend. We're quite surprised, being our second season, making that prelim A main was pretty exciting.
Yeah, right. Well, let me ask you a question. So if you were there at Murray Bridge, the Australian title, how did you go on that running race?
Yeah, not so good. I had heels on. I think I kicked the heels off.
Oh,
no,
no.
I'm only short, so I'm not great at running. I don't have running legs, so yeah.
I remember when I heard the story about that, and I know the guy, Brad McCarthy from Sydney, or from Junee, sorry, and he was the surprising runner out of everyone. He just flew past everyone, but yeah, that was pretty cool. All right, so you did the running race. At least you did that. So,
Yep,
what are
yep.
your thoughts moving into the Australian title at Mildura? Like, you expecting some sort of hype like they did at Murray Bridge, or you would have seen at Lismore, surely, what they did there?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh,
We
come
haven't
on,
seen
Melissa,
that,
you got to
so
watch that.
no,
You got to
sorry.
watch that. No, that's all right. So, what are your thoughts? Is it going in? You're feeling pretty confident. 110 cars. Where roughly you've got your eyes sort of set on where you want
Or
to be?
I mean, obviously you want to win. I
Yep.
think that's every driver's main goal, but I think we need to probably be realistic about it. And I think if you can make either one of the Bs,
Yep.
I'd be pretty happy. And I think we've
Yeah.
probably had a good weekend. So, it's going to come down to a bit of luck, I think, and just moving forward as many positions as you can get because there's what 10, 11, 11 heats per
Yeah.
round.
It
So
it sounds like it's going to be what you're going to get 2 heats on the first night with your preliminary final feature. Preliminary feature. You're going to have a few of them. So that's where the format's all changed, and then the following night will be a heat, then roll into. So I don't think you got time to, and probably you shouldn't, but just the idea of having an easy run, I think's gone. Like you really, as
yeah,
you said, like luck's going to come into it. You really need to pick off every spot. Every spot's going to be so crucial at the end of the day.
yeah, definitely.
But you're right. I think a realistic goal, 110 cars. If you can be inside that B, up in the Bs. I mean, don't get me wrong, you want to be in the A's, but around that Bs, you've still got luck or somewhere to play to try and get moved forward. So, well, at the moment with the sort of performance you're doing lately, yeah, the confidence you got in that car, and as you said, you guys found a lot of speed. Hopefully, you guys are going to have something good to pack in there. So,
Yeah, definitely. I'm hoping so. We'll see on the night, and how we go. But yeah, definitely be trying. That's for sure.
now there's another thing I want to ask you about too that I've noticed with you is you guys are obviously a very small team, but you're very well presented. I do like your car. It's very, I'm going to call it plain, but to me, it's effective. I mean, my favorite car I've ever owned was a plain white car with Chinese writing. So yeah, I've got no style of taste at all. But I noticed that you guys, well, yourself, you're a Penrite brand ambassador.
Yes.
Do you mind
Yep.
shedding some light on how that came about? Because I know, like, we all see that sort of stuff when we go through our socials. A lot of these products that are sort of aimed at our industry or our sport, and I think many people go, it's too hard to try. Well, you've obviously done the jump and did whatever needed to be done. So explain that process to us.
Yeah, definitely. So at the end of each season,
Hmm.
they put a call out for anyone that's interested, in becoming a brand ambassador. So they're not fussed whether you're up the front all the time. They just want you to share similar, values to them as a business.
Yep.
So we wrote a bit about ourselves and what we do and sent that off, and then yeah, they came back and we're pretty excited that we'd been selected, and that was 3 years ago. So we're into our third year of being a
Wow.
brand ambassador. So they just ask that you put some results up and that sort of stuff, and yeah, they provide us with some of their great product. It's really well known, fantastic product. So yeah, like I said, really lucky that we've been able to roll over that ambassadorship for the last 3 years. So yeah, anyone that's interested, the spots do fill up really, really quickly. So just at the end of the year, keep an eye on their Facebook pages, and they usually put the call out for to send your details in, and yeah, you can apply. So
Yeah, right. Wow. So it's that easy. And look at you go. I mean, the fact it must be working because I took note of it and I went, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. So
yeah, it
that's
is very
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Let's hit some questions now. So what's your favorite track?
um Murray Bridge is my home track, so I'm probably most comfortable there. I know it the best,
Hmm.
and I do like it. But I got a special place for Mount Gambier. I don't know what it is, but I just really, really love that place. They've got a great dedicated group of volunteers at
They
that
do.
track,
Yes.
and it's often hooky. That's my sort of style. I don't mind a rough hooky track
Yep.
over a slick sort of a track. I
Yep.
would prefer the hooky stuff. But yeah, no, it's just a fun little ball ring. I think it's great.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well,
Speedway City back in the day,
yep.
that was always fun. Um, so good if someone would buy that and
I
get it back
know.
up and running.
It's
There's
just
so
sitting
much
there.
chatter about it and so many rumors. And you know, if I won Cross Lotto, I think I'd try and buy it
You'd
and
do it?
get it. Yeah, definitely get it back up and running for
Oh,
sure.
that's awesome. You're a person of the people, so that's good. Actually, speaking of Mount Gambier, you looking at doing the South Australian state title?
Yeah, I think we are. I mean, it clashes with the Victorian Speaker title at
Oh, right.
Simpson, I think it is, but I think we'll probably end up doing the wingless title, just it's that little bit closer.
Yep.
Then obviously we've got the Speaker title at Murray Bridge not long after that. So, if we were to wreck at Simpson in the Speaker, I don't think we'd have the time to turn it around and fix it for the Australian title.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I think, and just because it's at Mount Gambier, I think we'll probably end
Yeah.
up going there. Yeah.
No, that'd be good. That'd be good. All right. What's been your favourite moment in the sport?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think getting to know the people in the sport, like there's a lot of great people just in speedway in general, but wingless, for instance, there's a lot of great characters and that sort of stuff. So getting to know those people, and I think probably making that prelim A main
Hmm.
for the Australian title,
Yeah.
that was pretty special, for sure.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Now, with your number, well, I mean, yes, you've got to run. Everyone's got their state prefix, but the 7. What's the meaning behind it? Is there a meaning behind that?
Yeah, so that was always Tim's number in the speaker
Yep.
when he got his own car. So we wanted to continue that legacy on, and when we moved into wingless sprint, that number wasn't available. But luckily Norm Moore had it,
Yep.
and he was gracious enough. He knew Tim and how much it meant to us as a family to have that number. So he offered it to us to have it. So very appreciative to him and his family for allowing us to do that. So
Yeah, nice. No, Normie's a good fella. That's good. Yeah. No, I like it. The numbers are good. All right. Before I let you go, Melissa, to enjoy your evening, do you want to? I normally give everyone an opportunity actually to thank their partners, their sponsors who help them get to the racetracks and up and down the highway. So please, the floor's all yours.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, most important person is probably my husband Jamie, my father-in-law Rob. I wouldn't be able to do any of it without them. Like mechanic side of things, I'm not great with. I know bits and pieces here and there,
Yeah.
but definitely nothing that they know setup wise, all that sort of stuff. So massive thank you to them. They put in a huge effort. Pete and Johnny, my crew, come to the track. Give up their weekends to help me out and do what I love. So thank you so much to those guys. And then we've been lucky enough to have a few sponsors jump on board the last couple of seasons. So Wade at RJ Engineering and Co at Roxby Downs, he's been a great support, particularly this year. And the Jenkin family, Tatiara Truck and Trailer down at Bordertown, they've jumped on board to help us out as well the last couple of years. So really, really appreciative because, it allows us to go and do more racing and as a family and, do what we love. So,
Yeah, nice. No, that's good because we all need people to help us, and it's good to see it's still a family sport. But you've named some good people there too that stayed with you, so that's awesome.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, everyone, that's Melissa Crouch, the S7 driver. Please feel free. I'm going to put down her details for her social media. Jump on there, show some love, and like a page, share it, and that sort of stuff. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Thanks, guys. See ya.